When I was 6 years old, my parents thought it would be a good idea to give myself and my brother, an 8-year-old at the time, a couple of dirhams every week to spend or save as we saw fit. Now to you, this might not sound like much, but to a 6-year-old, a single note is the key to an infinite world of possibilities. A world filled with candy, with toys, and well, not much else. And I, being the future accounting student, did exactly what any enterprising, money-conscious young man would do. I spent every single dirham I ever got in one shot the day I got it, week after week, without fail. Nothing in the world made me happier than walking into the store and buying myself, say, some stuffed animals I had outgrown years before I bought them, a slinky that would be bent out of shape 15 minutes after I bought it, whatever that is, and this toy car that I lost a week after I bought it. You might be starting to see a pattern here. I kept buying myself things I didn't want, things I never really needed. Money management be damned. Now this callous spending would soon get me in a lot of trouble. Eventually, my parents stopped giving us pocket money, though I don't quite know why. And considering that I had never before given a single thought to money management, was quite shocked when my steady source of income was cut off. You can understand how I felt, where previously I could have walked into the store and bought myself anything I wanted. All I could do now was stare at those toys on the shelves, staring into my empty wallet, wondering what I did wrong to deserve such torment. My brother, on the other hand, did not have any of these problems. He had been the model of financial sensibility. He had spent, as I estimated, roughly 10% of all the money he had ever been given and had saved up the rest. This was a source of infinite jealousy from my side, because whenever I was most short of funds, there was my brother with his fat wallet, with that smug grin on his face, veritably swimming in mountains of gold, while I, the mere peasant, was left wallowing in the streets, feeling the true depravity of my financial situation. A bit melodramatic, I know, but that's how I felt at the time. It hit me hard, because I never had money when I really wanted it. I was so close to being able to buy myself those toys in the stores, and yet so far. The emptiness of my wallet mirrored the emptiness of my heart, and there was nothing I could do to fill the void left by all the things I used to be able to buy. Admittedly, I did eventually realize that money wasn't all I needed, and with that realization came another one. The realization that I didn't have to spend all the money I was ever given in one shot. Quite the shocker, isn't it? Anyway, by the time I was around 13, I had begun saving up the money I'd gotten from birthdays, from doing well at school, from my relatives, Christmases, New Year's, and so on. Now, just because I was saving it up doesn't mean I spent it smartly. I still kept buying myself pointless things, with the only real difference being that the things I was now buying were a lot more expensive than the things I used to buy when I was younger. My spending habits remained this broken, this bad, for a long time. But eventually, as I grew older and older, my ideas about money began changing. I came to realize that money wasn't something that would just come to me for existing. It was something that if I didn't try to earn it, and if I didn't try to keep the money I had with me, it would figuratively stop falling into my hands from the heavens. You can blame this sudden change, this new perspective, on me having grown a little too old to want to play with new toys every day, or my burning hatred of never having any money, but instead, let's just say it was because I was more financially responsible and mature. Okay? So with this new attitude, with this new desire to become more financially sensible, what I first did is I looked around the internet to try and find ways I could make money as a teenager with lots of free time. That's how I stumbled upon the world of online video game items trading. I won't go into any specifics here, but basically by trading item for item, buying low to sell high, and investing in profitable items, I was able to make myself a decent amount of profit in a relatively short period of time. Somehow, through some miracle, I haven't yet let this sudden influx of money get to me. I haven't gone and blown it in one shot, as I would have done when I was younger. I have only really spent any of it on things I found essential, like a tablet when I realized that I needed to take my laptop to school every day, or at least an electronic device, and I realized I couldn't take my laptop to school, it was too heavy. Or perhaps headphones, when my old pair lost half the functionality and basically all the paint. You might be wondering what exactly I did to so miraculously fix spending habits that was so broken. Maybe I took all my money and shoved it into a mattress where even I couldn't get to it if I tried. Maybe I convinced myself that spending money was the ultimate sin. Perhaps I shoved it all into a savings account somewhere. Well, no, I didn't do any of those things. What I did is a little bit more mundane, though it did work, trust me. What I did is I adopted a little magic method, let's say, a simple set of rules that I gave myself and decided to follow, which would dictate how I could and could not use my money. And this set of rules helped me fix my spending habits. Now, before I tell you about these rules, let me give this little magical method a name. Let's call it my simple steps to spending your savings smartly. It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Let's get into step number 1. Sleep on it. And no, I don't mean sleep on your cash. What I mean is, whenever you feel like you want to buy something, give it some time. Don't rush into the store and buy it immediately. Hold off until the next day, until you've had enough time to think about it, and until you've had a good night's rest. This way, in the morning, when you wake up, if you still feel like you want it, go ahead, because all that thought you put into it proved that you do want it. If, when you wake up, you realize that you completely forgot about the thing you wanted to buy, then obviously don't go buy it. You never wanted it in the first place. Next, don't stuff your wallet. What I mean is, despite what you might have been led to believe by the TV, media, the internet, having a fat wallet is overrated. Never carry all your cash with you when you go outside. Always leave some of it at home. Now, what this does is it prevents you from buying something expensive and blowing all your money in one shot, which, as we all know, is a mistake I made several times. Whenever you're outside and you have just a little bit less money than you need to buy something, you'd end up asking whoever you're with, be it your parents or your friends, for that money, with the promise of returning it later. When you do this, they are another set of eyes and ears who'll be able to tell you if what you're trying to buy is pointless or if you should go ahead with the purchase. Take their advice. It helps. Next, along a similar vein, split your savings. What this means is that whenever you are given any amount of money, split it mentally into an amount that you're going to allow yourself to spend and an amount that you're not going to allow yourself to spend. What this does is it also, similar to the previous step that is, prevents you from buying something too expensive and blowing all your money in one shot. Next, ignore the sales. I am a little bit ashamed to admit how many times I've been captivated by those shiny red 75% off signs, those buy one, get two free offers. I have bought things I didn't need one of, buy one, get two free. So I'd end up with 3 of them when I barely even needed one in the first place. Basically what you do is whenever you see a sale, be it 95%, 99%, buy one, get two free, whatever. When you see a sale, if it's not on something you really need, something you really, really want, turn the other way, never think about it again. Sales are the easiest way to spend all your money. And finally, perhaps most important of all, when you're saving up your money or trying to make a change in your spending habits for the better, you need to give yourself a proper reason. There is absolutely no guarantee that you will be able to save up your money or make that change if you're doing it just to show the world how financially responsible you are, or just to save up money for a rainy day that might never come. Don't expose yourself to the risk of cracking under the pressure and giving in to the temptation. Instead, give yourself a more fun or more personal reason for doing it. Perhaps you can look at it the way I do. Don't save up your money and spend it smartly just to show the world that you're the model accountant, or just to show the world how smart and financially responsible you are. No. Save up your money and spend it smartly just to stick it to all those older brothers of the world who would happily lord their wealth over you if only they were given the chance. Thank you.